This is Radio 568. It's Tuesday afternoon at about 1:40. We're going to begin our WJJCRH broadcast at 1:45. It's going to cover policing and in New York City and how the police deal with its citizens. So this is WJJCRH on Radio 568, broadcasting out of John Jay College. And we're going to be starting the program in about 5 minutes at 1:45. Please tune in, and if you have any comments, you can certainly tweet us at hashtag Radio568JJ. This is Professor Alan Winson talking to you from John Jay College and WJJCRH.
is WJJCRH. My name is Xavier Perez, and I'm here with
Ro-
Tech.
Rosemary.
And Sophia on tech.
All right. And today is November 11th, 2014, on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Just to recap about last week's episode, we spoke about Ebola. And a big shout out to Dr. Craig Spencer for being Ebola clean.
Hashtag freedom.
Hashtag freedom. Now we are down to 0 cases in the United States of Ebola.
Woo. Maybe all the craziness could go down now.
Yes.
No more epidemic here in the U.S. Hopefully it stays that way.
Hopefully. Hopefully it's all gone.
I mean, but then again, we do have diabetes and obesity and all that other stuff that nobody seems to care about these days.
Yeah.
Many people don't see that as diseases, but they are.
Shout out to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Either way, follow us on Twitter, hashtag WJJCRH, hashtag NYPD, hashtag Commissioner Bratton, and Mayor de Blasio. Today we're going to talk about the relationship between the NYPD and New Yorkers.
Yes.
Anybody have anything to say about the NYPD and New Yorkers?
I mean, I think everyone knows about how we don't have the best relationship. The NYPD here is a little different than other police departments. You know, New Yorkers aren't very happy right now with them.
Yeah, I haven't been too happy with the NYPD for a while.
I don't think it's just the NYPD. I feel like it's nationwide. People just, in general, aren't satisfied with their local police departments. I personally haven't had any personal experience with the police, so I can't really say anything.
It's this like new militarization, you know? It's like
Yeah.
Totalitarianism.
it's kind of crazy, right?
Mhm.
I don't know, but I mean, I have met some good police officers. You know, I have family who are NYPD, and at one point in my life, I wanted to be an NYPD officer.
Really?
And, you know, so just because there's a few bad seeds doesn't mean that the NYPD is not effective in keeping us safe.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Yeah, all the media has all done is just bad credibility to them. But there are some good cops, of course. There's always good and bad.
Oh, yes, especially on Facebook when you see, like, the little teenage kids, like, fighting with the cops.
Oh yeah,
And they talk so much smack about the cops, like, oh, these pigs, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just crazy. And then you see everybody commenting on the bottom, like, oh, yeah, F the NYPD, they suck so much. Yeah.
I remember when they did that whole Twitter thing, when they were trying to name your favorite NYPD moment, and it totally just backfired on them.
Wow.
It's so sad that, you know, community members see their local police department like that.
Yeah.
But on a bright note, or, you know, what most people would think it's a bright note, me personally, I don't think it's a bright note. 25 grams of marijuana is not gonna send you to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're happy out there.
Shout out to all those potheads who think that they can walk around with a ton of weed in their pockets.
Yes.
Just
Remember,
make sure it's not bagged
25.
out. Just make sure it's not bagged out, because if it bagged out, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like take you in.
What does 25 grams of weed look like, actually?
I don't know.
Is it
It's like one of those Ziploc bags. I wish we could
Like
show
a
you a
sandwich
picture.
bag?
If you're in New York City, go by your local, or no, go by your nearest Subway and check out the AM New York paper. It's the cover page, and Commissioner Bratton is holding out a big bag of oregano that is supposed to represent marijuana.
It's
He's actually
$300
holding
worth
oregano.
of weed. $300 worth of marijuana.
There's $300 worth of marijuana.
Yeah.
But who walks around with $300 worth of marijuana?
I know a few.
You know, 24-hour stoners.
Yes.
All right, so let's get down to the serious stuff. We're going to talk about quality of life offenses. And in case anybody out there doesn't know what a quality of life offense is, it's loitering, trespassing, public noise, too much public noise, public urinations. They're basically victimless crimes.
Public urination?
Yeah.
People do this?
I'm sorry, did you say trespassing?
Trespassing. Yeah.
I mean, there's like a limit with the
Well,
trespassing.
yeah, I think there is a limit with trespass. I think we spoke about that in
I
one of
actually
our
have a funny
broadcasts.
story about trespassing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys might
Tell
not know
us.
about it. Okay, so in Georgia, there was this house party, and then like the whole town got invited. So then it was like in this really nice neighborhood, and then it was very popular. It was all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. So then I went, and then I don't know where the police showed up. It was like the local sheriff department, and then like we all, I don't want to say I got arrested, but we did get handcuffed.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then we had to go to the police department office, and we had to like spend the whole night there. And the thing was, the house was it was for sale, so it's like we weren't supposed to be there, so it was like trespassing. But like nobody told us. The person that hosted the party knew about it, but they didn't care to tell anybody that attended the party.
What?
Yeah, so
Oh my God, that must have been so
my
intense.
God.
we committed a crime and we didn't even know it.
That's
That's
so.
what-
Are you liable for something like that? Is it ignorance? Does ignorance release you?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know.
so how did you guys get released? On what charges? Did you
I
guys
mean,
get
I
any
just had to
charges?
pay like a little fine.
Okay.
Of course you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Shout
There's
out,
always a fine.
Shout out to the courts.
Yeah. It was like a $300 something fine.
Wow.
And even like I said, I was like, I didn't know. Nobody knew about it. And everyone was like,
$300?
"Oh." Yeah, it was like $365.
Oh my
Leave
God.
it to the courts to handcuff you, probably scar your wrist, and then make you pay $300
Mind
for...
you, the person that hosted the party didn't get any charges whatsoever. They
Amazing.
acted like they didn't know the party was going on. When they were the ones on Facebook saying, "Oh, everybody come through to my house, come through to my house." And then the parents were out of town. They were like, "Oh, wait, there's a party at my house that's for sale right now. Like, this is..." And then they called the police.
Oh, so they claimed it was their house.
Yeah, like, it was their house, but it was, like, for sale.
Oh, okay.
And then they just said everybody was trespassing, but we didn't know.
While we're on this trespassing subject, keep in mind, do not trespass in Florida.
Right.
All right, those gated communities, if you are darker than caramel, don't do it.
I mean, I don't think anyone should do it.
Well, you never know. You might get away with it.
Well, the way things are turning out, yeah.
So so we're talking about quality of life offenses, and I think that the city should be more lenient on these offenses and focus more on serious crimes. And this is a new policy that Commissioner Bratton has brought with him ever since he's gotten the position as commissioner. And I feel these are just targeting, New Yorkers for absolutely no reason. I mean, like I said, these are victimless crimes. Many times people hop the train because they don't have money to get on the train, And I think that something as harsh as $100 is absurd for skipping out on $250, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And also, what about those express buses? Have you guys heard of those express buses
Yeah,
that
they're
you
like
need?
$5
Yes.
or
I
something.
remember when those first came out, I got on the bus without buying a ticket because I needed to get on the bus. And luckily, like I didn't get stopped or given a ticket, but I can only imagine how many people get on those express buses without realizing that they need to buy a ticket first.
I didn't know for a while, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't know that until now.
I mean,
I didn't know
I mean-
that. Imagine I got onto it today and like.
can
oh,
we
yeah,
send
it's
out
a-
bulletins to communities? I mean, can people like get
Yeah.
notices
Exactly,
before they
bro.
do things like this?
Because how are you going to be charged for a crime that you didn't even know that you committed?
Mhm.
This is absurd.
I mean, I've been lucky. I've never gotten stopped, but you never know.
So these quality of life offenses, I just feel like it's just another way to,
Go
kind of
hard
like,
on us,
I guess go hard on us or keep New Yorkers in line. But I don't think it works. I think there's a flood of money that's going to the court system, and I wish I knew where this money went. I wish I did this kind of research because I can only assume how much money, is being collected out of, all these like tiny little offenses that are not hurting anybody. But let's talk about positive experiences with the NYPD. Or you know what? Let's talk about negative experience. No. Let's talk about positive experiences.
Yeah,
Because
let's start out happy.
we all know there are some negative experiences out there with the NYPD. But has anybody ever had a positive experience with the NYPD? Or
I
what's the
mean-
last you can remember?
I mean,
Maybe
there's-
asking a police officer for directions and he was actually right?
Hold on, let me think. I'm trying to think.
They have a lot of programs, like law enforcement programs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I actually went to one at the school here at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Ooh.
It was like a
Hashtag John Jay.
yes. It was a firearms training simulation program. It was like about an hour long, and they had like this huge white screen set up, and then there was like a table a few feet away from it with like fake guns. It was like a kind of like laser tag, and then the police officers were like really really nice. They remembered my name after like a few minutes. Like I thought they would forget who I was. They were funny. It was nice. And then like when it was time to go, they were like really really like welcoming. Not welcoming, but like they were really really nice. Yeah, it was really positive for me.
That's good.
Yeah, over the summer for a very small amount of time, I joined a program where like it was in a police precinct, and you get like they take you to places, like they'll take you to the Brooklyn Bridge, or they'll take you around the city, and you just do like community service. And they're supposed to help you, like if you want a career in law enforcement, they help you, like get the resources to get there, better internships. They're very good, like credible and stuff. So, there is a lot of good things about the NYPD. We can't always just focus on the bad.
I completely agree. When I was a kid, the city was really big on DARE. I forget what DARE is. It's
Isn't it drug and alcohol resistant, something like that?
drug and resistance alcohol.
Hold on.
Drug alcohol resistance. that was years ago.
Yeah,
But,
I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, but we had DARE, and we had police officers come to my school, and they used to talk about and we used to talk about drugs and why they're bad for you. And I think that was the last time I had, like a really good experience with the NYPD. But I feel like there should be way more programs like that.
I know, because those are the things that get us involved. Those are the things that, make us aware from a very young age that, we're New Yorkers. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of bad things going on. But we can be part of the change. We could be the next generation of cops, or, people who are up there and actually make a difference, do something for the city. We could be the good ones, maybe.
I agree. I mean, the cops, the NYPD, I'm assuming that they have a lot of resources.
I'm assuming.
And I'm assuming that all those resources should be used to better the community instead of giving us all summonses and jailing us. I think the whole point should be for them to help us instead of, just automatically thinking that, we're bad citizens and just,
Yeah.
taking us away.
Like, you heard about the new 25, I think, 25 miles per hour limit that, on residential places that you can only drive.
Is that the Project Zero?
Oh, I don't know what
I
it's
think that's the Project Zero with De Blasio.
Yes,
There were
that is.
flyers all over my street.
Yeah. So a lot of like drivers are upset. They're just saying, "Oh, this is another excuse just for them to ticket us, or another excuse, just for another summons." But maybe it's actually helpful. Maybe we do need to drive slower. Maybe we do have to look at the other side
This
of
is
the
a
story.
big city. and we
Yeah.
live in
Exactly.
Justice.
The crazy part about it is my neighbor actually got hit by a car on my street the day before that law went out.
Oh.
Of
It's
course.
so crazy, I swear.
Oh.
Oh, and fun fact, DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education.
There you go.
There we go.
But I think we should just I want to walk down the street and be surrounded by cops and not be worried.
That's true.
I
I feel like you
I
get
really
this certain paranoia.
right? You get a little tension. It's
Yeah.
like, why is there a cop around here?
I mean,
know?
for most of my life when I was
We have
younger,
a really big police department.
yeah, we do. I was terrified of cops. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man.
My childhood.
I would be terrified like if I was doing something bad, but like if I knew I wasn't doing anything bad, I would be like, okay, just walk by, keep it cool.
I would like walk by a cop and like stop chewing my gum and just like walk straight because I don't want to get in trouble.
Chewing gum is illegal.
I don't like making eye contact with cops.
No.
Yeah, I feel like if I make too much eye contact with them, then
Right
I feel
away.
like right away like I'm gonna get targeted.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why are you looking at me? I don't
mean-
know. I could look, right?
I mean, as New Yorkers or anyone, we could get targeted at any moment. That's the thing, anytime that they're looking for a suspect, and if we match the description,
Mm-hmm.
We could always, like, anytime, at any moment, we can get targeted, and that's something scary. You know, they could arrest us just for having a certain appearance,
For
which
having
is,
probable cause.
yeah.
Yes.
That, and that kind of brings me to, Judge Shira Scheitland, in the case of Floyd versus New York.
Okay.
And I remember, when I was doing this project on, interviewing people, in the city, and so many people that I know have been stopped and frisked,
I know.
just because of the way they look.
That's true.
And but that just got overturned on August 12th, 2013. But I still feel tension walking outside. Me personally, I've never been stopped and frisked, but my brother has. Um,
My friends have.
so many of my friends have.
Yeah.
And in a little bit, we're gonna listen to a couple of interviews, and we're gonna find out exactly. We're gonna find out exactly how New Yorkers feel about their local police force, and how how they react to how they react to interact with the police force on a daily basis.
This is interview number 1 on NYPD and New Yorkers. Interviewer 1, where are you from and what is your ethnicity?
I'm Trinidadian. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so the first question that I'm going to be asking you is, do you know what a quality of life offense is?
No.
A quality of life offense is, for example, is hopping the train, skipping a fare, selling a cigarette, buying an illegal cigarette, loosies they call them, urinating on the street. It's a victimless crime. Have you ever committed a quality of life offense?
Yes.
Have you ever been given a ticket or arrested for a quality of life offense?
Yes.
The second question is, what is the last when is the last time you had a positive experience with the NYPD?
2002.
You mind describing?
They came out to the park near my neighborhood, and they let us in a football game, a couple basketball games, like a little fun-filled day.
That's actually really nice of them. All right. So, would you say that most of your experiences with the NYPD are positive or negative?
Negative.
Have you been stopped and frisked after August 12th, 2013?
No.
Have you been stopped and frisked before August 12th, 2013?
Yes.
Do you think that safety should be for citizens over police or safety for police over officers?
Citizens over police.
Do you find that the NYPD are peacemakers or bullies?
Bullies.
Last question. Should the officer who put Eric Garner into the apparent chokehold, Daniel Pantaleo, do you think he should be indicted on criminal charges?
Not only him, I believe him and the rest of the officers around that situation should all be indicted.
Do you think that the grand jury that is currently hearing the case, do you think that they will indict the officer?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Ashasa. Just wanted to wish you guys a good morning.
All right, welcome back to WJJCRH. I'm here with my name is Xavier. I'm here with Sophia and Rosemary. Follow us on Twitter, hashtag WJJCRH. On Twitter, we are Radio568, and you can also follow us on YouTube, Radio568. So back to the interview. What did you guys think?
I mean, he did say that all of his experiences, most of them at least, were bad. But he did say at least some were good.
I know it kind of took me back a little bit how long he took to respond.
Yeah, he had to really.
He was
think.
really thinking.
Yeah.
And that should not be the case. I
shouldn't.
mean, at least he didn't get stopped after August 12th.
That's
when-
what I. Yeah. That's what I really took from it. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, because that would have sucked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel a certain way about stop and frisk. I can't believe that we had it for that long.
And there was very little, that was done about it. Very little.
I know. There was just so many violations, of our rights. You got the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable searches and seizures, the 14th Amendment, citizen rights and equal protection laws. And I don't know. I just feel that it should be obvious. Our forefathers did something right. Why not just follow the law?
What do you mean? Like, why just not follow the law? Are you speaking to the citizens or to the cops?
I feel like, I'm speaking to all of us. I think we are.
Yeah.
We're all members of the community.
Yeah.
And equally, I don't think any of us should
United
be
we
unreasonably.
stand.
Exactly.
That's
And
very true.
I think we all have the right to, walk out in the streets and not have to worry about, being pulled to the side and, having hands in our pockets and, it's kind of scary.
True. Fact. 1,000 New Yorkers get stopped each and every day.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's way too much.
That's way too much.
One would be way too much in my book. But let's talk about his positive experience and him in the park. When the cop opened the park, I think cops have a good experience with kids. When it
I think
comes to
they-
kids, at
yeah.
least, they're really good with kids. In that sense, I feel like police officers, well, at least here in New York City, they have a good relationship with the kids.
They stand like as a inspiration or role model.
Yeah, like role models.
Yeah, I mean, there should be a sense of pride when you're policing a neighborhood, especially, when you're around kids. I feel like you should, yeah, like you said, be a role model.
Yeah, like at least lead them in the right direction. Just because they think adults or certain people are doing bad things doesn't mean kids aren't.
Yeah, and you also want the kids to know who they should call when there's an emergency.
True.
Yeah.
Exactly. You shouldn't
Not
be afraid.
Ghostbusters.
You shouldn't be afraid if there's an emergency. Oh, I need to call the cops. But if I call the cops, what if they're gonna backlash on me? You shouldn't have that fear. As citizens, like you said, the 14th Amendment, equal rights to every citizen.
Completely agreed. So, what about peacemakers or bullies? If we took a survey right now, what do you think New Yorkers would say? Are police officers peacemakers or bullies?
I mean, I think we are pretty sure of what they would say, but what's the actual fact?
Like, I want to say it would be 50-50, but then again, I'm not sure.
The way social media has been portraying them, it sounds like they would be 90% bullies.
Yeah, social media-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was, in social media. Plus, a lot of people just say it, even if they haven't had a bad experience. They say, oh, the cops are bad, this and that, just because everyone else is saying
Yeah, they're
That's
friends.
because
They're
they see on
following.
the media.
Exactly.
I guess the media does kind of like mold how we like see things.
Exactly.
It manipulates
It
our
influences
perspective.
people.
You sure?
But
You're only
me
giving us
personally,
what we want.
no, yeah, agreed. But I don't know. From my experience with police officers, a lot of them look upset all the time. They all look like they're pretty upset, and a lot of them are always on their phones.
I've noticed that. Well, I
Yeah.
haven't noticed that until right now when you said it. That's true.
I've never seen a cop on a phone.
I have.
I see
don't
cops on the
know.
phone all the time.
Yeah.
Most of them have iPhones.
I
It's
usually
funny.
see them talking to each other a lot.
Yeah.
It's freezing and they're just walking together.
But I think in my opinion, I think cops can be bullies. I think I think a lot of times, because they have a certain power and because they carry a gun or because they can arrest you, take you somewhere, they kind of have this like persona, that
This level of
this level of like I don't
I'm dominant, over you, or
exactly.
I can control what's gonna happen next.
I know it's like a lot of them, but not all of them, but a
No.
lot of them do feel like they're better than a lot of the community members.
Yes. I mean, I've noticed that a lot of cops, like, they don't want to be insulted, right? It's, cops are normal people just like
I
us.
completely agree. They do
Yeah.
not want to be insulted.
Exactly. When you get insulted, your pride gets hurt. And what do? You act violent, or, there's an
You
argument.
exercise your power.
Exactly. You exercise your power. They're cops. They have a higher level of power. So, of course, when they exercise their power, it's going to be way more aggressive. And, of course, it's going to be shown in the media. And this is what we're going to think of cops. They're all bad. But we don't know if they're being provoked or not. That's
Yeah,
what we don't know.
especially when, like, in the news it says cop shoots unarmed man, and then, like, everybody starts thinking that, oh, they're so bad because they shot somebody that didn't have a gun on them. That's so wrong. But sometimes, like, they have to shoot because either that person, like, for example, if I'm grabbing somebody, like, right there on the edge of the train tracks and I'm threatening to push them, like, a cop does have the right to shoot me to stop my actions. Like, the only reason why cops shoot is to stop something bad from happening. So I think that's one misconception that arises from the media.
Yeah, and it just for the record, most cops don't even use their weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sucks that we have to hear that an armed person was like killed by a police officer, because I mean, there's a lot of people in the city, but still it
It hurts.
It does.
We all feel affected by it.
You feel fear. Like should I be worried about the NYPD or should I be happy that they're here?
Did you guys know, like, on average, a shootout between NYPD or like a gunman is like 2.5 seconds?
2.5 seconds.
Yeah, like that's like the average time.
So much can happen
Wow.
in 2.5 seconds.
Yes.
Wow, 2.5 seconds. We usually think that's so fast.
Yeah, like in the movies, it's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, they're running, hiding behind
Yeah,
cars.
you have to act fast.
So, did you guys know that there are seminars that are offered to police officers in general here in the United States that give useful tips on seizing property from suspected criminals? Like cars, money, jewelry.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's called civil asset forfeiture. And there was this one guy. There's an article that I read by Shayla Dewan. It's called "Police Use Department Wish List When Deciding Which Assets to Seize." This is on the New York Times, and she basically says that this one guy named Harry S. Conley Jr., a city attorney of Las Cruces in North Mexico, called these asset forfeitures little goodies, and
Okay.
and he said, according to this article, they said that the officers should go after flat screen TVs, cash, and cars, especially
Wow.
nice cars. And I just quoted.
Is that something? Is that real?
Yeah. It also says, don't bother with jewelry.
What?
Yeah, because it's too hard to get rid of.
Is this for their own personal use or for evidence?
This is for the department's use.
For anything?
Okay,
Whatever they want?
so do they? Oh, okay. You know what? Wow.
But that's just a little fun fact, on just United States policing. But back to the NYPD.
Yeah.
And did you guys hear on what the interviewee said when he was talking about Danielle Pantaleo and Eric Garner,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and about how well does he think that the grand jury should indict or not indict? What do you guys think? This is the
I
guy.
hate
This
this
is
question.
this is the guy that got put in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Over a
controversial.
couple of Lucy cigarettes.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about how you see it.
I mean,
But
but do
then-
videos lie?
Exactly. That's the problem. Like, we always want to find the good side to it, but is there at this point? Is there?
I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like, what if he didn't know that? What if the cop didn't know that Eric Garner was gonna die? Like, if I knew that I was gonna like kill him, of course I would like stop what I was doing. But it's like, how do you know that you're gonna kill somebody? Do you get what I'm saying?
No. Well,
I mean,
I
it's like-
agree. I agree that you don't know if you're gonna kill somebody, but I think if you seen the video, somebody says in the video, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, that he had asthma,
I remember that.
and he was saying that he couldn't breathe.
I mean,
And this goes back to the question, should the safety of police officers,
but
take,
was his safety at risk?
well, assuming to the NYPD it was. He's a really big guy, and he could have hurt one of the police officers. But should the safety of a citizen be priority over a police officer, or should it be the other way around?
It should be equal, but
yeah,
It should be equal, but if you're putting yourself in a certain position where they say the motto is to serve and protect, right?
mhm.
This is your motto. You're a cop. I understand someone's committing a crime, and I understand someone's a certain size. And protect, to be there, to stand there, and then you're gonna, do this, and then try to justify it by saying this is a big scary man, and I could have been hurt. I'm sure there's many more cops who could have backed you up. If you call in 30 seconds, they're here to back you up.
I agree.
Of course, I'm exaggerating, but
yeah.
But there was more than one cop there. They
exactly.
could have easily subdued this guy, and especially he had asthma. I mean, how fast could he move?
yeah, for
Right?
real.
I think their fear sometimes, because of course, like I said, cops are normal people, so of course they have fear, and especially in your line of duty, there's always that risk of getting hurt.
Is it fear, or is it this power trip that we were talking about?
That's what
You
there's.
know?
It's true.
He just put, I mean, I don't know. You got it. It begs the question. I mean, was this guy put in a chokehold because this one cop wanted to show him that, I'm the police officer. I'm the one in charge.
You listen to me.
Exactly. And this kind of stuff. This causes death. And people need to be held accountable, just like you're held accountable when you hop the train, or just like you're held accountable when you're caught with a bag of marijuana, or when you trespass, or you urinate in public. If
Or
you're held
even
accountable, why does the NYPD? Why are they not being held accountable? I mean, do we not practice equality in this country?
The cop wasn't wearing a uniform, right? He was like undercover.
Yeah, I think he was an undercover
Yeah.
cop.
I think
a
that
lot of them
has
were-
something to do with it too, because I feel like if he was in his uniform, like everybody around him would know, like, all right, this is a cop. Like, it's more serious now. But since he was like in regular clothes, like I feel like he had to show like more authority to Eric Garner. I don't know. That's just me though.
No, I completely agree. He's definitely higher in the rank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
still, I think
Like in-
I think at least the one cop should be brought to trial, because I think the people should have a voice.
The question is, was there another way to go about it? Was there another way that he could have spared his life and still, of course, hold him accountable for his crime? It was okay. Yes, it was a crime, but was it so serious?
It doesn't matter if you're suspected of a crime or if you committed a crime. It should still be, the NYPD's priority, to ensure the safety of the person that they're putting under arrest.
Sure.
Because they're not God. They can't judge if you live or die. Like, your job is to serve. Your job is to serve and protect. You're a peacemaker. You don't take things into your own hands. All you do is bring this guy in so we can all give him a fair trial in the court system that we all have faith in, or at least should have faith in.
I completely agree with that. I completely do.
How do you guys feel about the little cameras on the uniforms to monitor what the police officers do?
It's that they just cost so much money. I mean, does the city have that budget? It's such a great idea. It's such a great idea.
But of course, with always that question, does the city have money? The city always has money for the things they specifically want.
The
I mean-
politicians have money.
Yeah. I mean,
But if we did have money, would you be pro putting a camera on every cop?
What if you were a cop and you're doing your job and you had something like monitoring you 24/7 while you're
I can see where that
On the
could
clock.
bother them.
I mean,
But aren't you, as a
at the
cop?
at the end of the day, it's still a job, and you have to follow certain protocols, certain rules.
But you want to be trusted doing your job. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
messed
do.
up because one police officer messes up, and then like
Well, it's been more than
everybody,
one.
everybody has to like go down too.
I completely agree.
All for one
But
and one for all.
you know, this is a country under surveillance.
Yeah.
You know, and we're the ones that are being surveillance. You know, especially by the cops. It's like I feel like I'm always being watched every time there's a cop. I feel like
Exactly.
you know, and if your community doesn't feel safe, and these things like Eric Garner and Michael Brown and you know
Yes.
all these events keep happening, then like I think the whole point is to look out in the best interest of its citizens. So if it was up to me, I would completely 100% put a camera on every cop. You know, at least you can do it randomly to a couple. You don't have to do it to all of them, but just know that you know no cop is above the law. You know, if you
Yeah.
break the law, then you have to be held accountable too.
Exactly. I mean, as a cop, you're already under surveillance, aren't you? I mean, most people in the streets have phones. Anything you do, you're gonna be watched.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
might
of
as well
course.
have your camera, have that camera with you. So at least
it's actually in their benefit.
exactly, because if someone's speaking up to them or someone is defying them or something, at least they can justify it. But if they are doing something against protocol, then they should be charged for it. They should be held accountable, and
I
that's not happening.
You know, and when something happens, and you know, and it's only a cop's word, that can't be good for anybody, because now anybody can be targeted.
Exactly. How are we supposed to trust, another human being just like us? Just because they have another authority doesn't mean that.
And plus, it's our say, right? I mean, don't we pay these guys wages? Aren't they our tax?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, shouldn't. But then again, this is just our opinion. You know, hashtag us at WJJCRH if you agree, disagree.
It's WJJCRH. Radio568 WJJ.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Radio568 and on YouTube Radio568.
Did you guys say to like us on Facebook? Is that
And you can also like us on Facebook.
Yeah,
I think we have a-
Radio568/WJJCRH.
So we're gonna listen to another interview, and after this interview, then we're gonna say what we think about it.
Great.
Okay, so this is interview number 4. And this interview is on the NYPD and the relationship with New Yorkers. Right? Interviewer number 4, what is your ethnicity? Where are you from? And where do you currently reside?
I'm Caucasian, I'm from France, and I live in Brooklyn.
Do you know what a quality of life offense is?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever committed a quality of life offense and not been ticketed or summoned?
I committed,
Quality of life offense?
but I wasn't, and I got a ticket.
You did.
Yes.
Has there been times where you've committed some and not gotten ticketed?
No.
Do you think that the amount the tickets are for, do you think that they're justified for the offense that you committed?
The ticket is justified, but not the amount. Especially when it's for 2 people when one committed a crime.
Okay. When is the last time that you had a positive experience with an NYPD officer?
I've never really had a positive experience.
So it would be safe to say that most of your experiences with the NYPD are negative?
They were not negative, but they were not pleasant.
Not pleasant. Do you think that they should be pleasant?
I think that sometimes they're a little unfair and pushy.
Okay. Post August 2013, August 12, 2013, have you been stopped and frisked?
No,
Prior to August 12th, 2013, have you been stopped and frisked?
no, I've been stopped, but not frisked.
Have, did they ask you for your ID?
Yes.
Did you comply?
You mean did I give it?
Yes.
Once?
Do you know what happened on August 12, 2013?
No.
Judge Shira Sheitlin on Floyd versus City of New York ruled that it was against that the stop and frisk violated the 4th and 14th Amendment of thousands of New Yorkers.
So they don't have the right to ask me for my ID?
They don't have the right to racially discriminate you and frisk you without reasonable cause.
Okay.
Searches and seizures is the 4th Amendment, and the 14th is the Equal Rights Protection Laws. Everybody in this country should be equal.
Okay.
Question number 4. In your opinion, do you think that the safety for citizens over police should be primary over the safety for police over citizens?
Can you reformulate the question?
Okay.
Basically, do I think that...
Do you think that?
Do I feel safe?
No. Do you think that the safety of citizens over police? Do you think that that should be the priority, or do you think that the safety for police over citizens should be priority?
I think citizen over police should be priority.
Okay. Do you, in your opinion, feel that the NYPD act as peacemakers or as bullies?
It varies. So some police officers can be peacemakers, but some of them just look for the tiny little problem to bother us.
Okay. Do you think that they have a quota to say do you think that they need to give a certain amount of tickets per month?
Do I think or
that
do I
they're
know?
forced to? No, do you think, in your opinion, do you think that they're forced to?
I don't think so, but they might.
Last question. Do you know who Eric Garner is?
No.
Eric Garner got put into an apparent chokehold in Staten Island and died.
She got put in what?
Eric Garner was a man who died by a chokehold move from the NYPD.
Oh, yes, I heard that.
Okay. Do you think, in your opinion, that this officer, Daniel Pantaleo, should be indicted on criminal charges for the death of Eric Garner?
Yes.
Currently, there's a grand jury hearing where they will decide whether to indict or not indict.
Indict is convict?
Indict would be to formally press charges.
Okay.
And then the case will go to trial.
Okay.
Do you think that the grand jury will indict Officer Daniel Pantaleo, in your opinion?
Yes, I hope so.
So you think they will?
I don't know. I think so.
That's good enough. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Welcome back.
To WJJCRH, hashtag Radio568JJ. Follow us on YouTube at
Follow us on Twitter at Radio568JJ and like us on Facebook at Radio568/WJJCRH.
Shout out to our tech, Sophia.
Holla.
All right, so back to these interviews. So the first one was an African American, and this interview was a French girl. And she didn't actually have much to say about the NYPD. She briefly came in contact with the case well, it's not even a case because it hasn't even been indicted.
Nope.
But she's recently, she's heard about Eric Garner at least, and in her opinion, he should be indicted on criminal charges.
Definitely. I agree.
I just think there should be a court hearing, so like we see all the evidence, and there should just be a fair trial.
There should be some recognition.
Yeah.
At least.
A form of equality, I would say. But so yeah, this incident kind of brings me back to quality of life offenses, and like another one of these offenses is they're loosies. In case no one knows what a loosie is, they are loose cigarettes that are sold in corner stores or by individuals on the street for 50 cents or 75 cents.
I mean, isn't that considered a quality of life offense?
No, it is. Yeah. It
exactly.
is. Yeah.
So, wow. So is the death penalty then? Because that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
How much is the pack of cigarettes?
12, 13.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
12, 13?
No, well, it's 12.59.
Down south they're like
Or
$4.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends where you are in the city, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's over $12
Yeah.
or something like that.
And the city's more like 13, but yeah.
Either way, I mean, these QOL offenses, I just feel like there needs to be more leniency, more humanity within the NYPD, and sometimes it's better to kind of bend the law in order to enforce the law.
What do you
Okay.
mean by that?
Well, I think you need to do what's better for your community.
So you're speaking about defiance.
Listen,
Oh, defiance.
I say if it's gonna be such a big problem where a guy is gonna end up dead for a cigarette, let the guy walk.
That's true. There's
That is
bigger
true.
issues going on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Use your
Oh,
discretion, police officers. Don't put yourself in a hole like Daniel Pantaleo. And
Yes.
the guy who shot Michael Brown. I mean, I don't know if that.
That's not NYPD, but
well,
that's still
it's not NYPD, but who knows if that was a hate crime or if he was just trying to do his job. I mean,
the whole situation.
the whole
is
situation is completely bogus.
Exactly.
There's a big riot because of that. I cannot believe that happened.
It shouldn't have happened. That's the point.
It shouldn't.
You should be, especially if you're armed, you're a cop, you're supposed to protect. Yes, also protect yourself.
Not shoot a guy while he's running away.
Exactly. You could run up to him, or you could call another car to meet him at the corner. You could do something.
I said stop. He kept running away, so he shot him.
Wow.
Oh, God. No wonder they're so mad over there in Ferguson.
I would be. I'm mad, and I don't live there, but it's still something that's going on. That and again, the awareness, not the best.
Did you
Anyways.
guys hear about the pregnant woman that the NYPD threw to the ground?
Oh, I've heard about it, but I don't really.
What happened?
It was in Sunset Park. This lady's son was getting arrested, and she jumped in to oh no, that's my baby, don't arrest him. And then the NYPD pushed her, and then she fell to the floor.
Did she lose the baby?
I think she's
No.
still pregnant.
But still, there's a certain way you treat a pregnant woman. You don't
Mm-hmm.
push her to the ground.
Oh, God.
See, I'm trying to hold
And
off.
that was in Sunset
Yeah,
Park.
in Sunset Park.
NYPD
She was a Hispanic lady.
strikes again.
She was 43.
Oh, so she's a.
Pretty.
Do we know how many months she was? Was she showing a lot?
Yeah, she was showing. She was, looks like 7 months in the pregnancy.
Oh, my God.
Oh no, 5 months pregnant. Oh, she's
Still.
pretty big.
Yeah. Okay, go on RADio568 JJ, and we'll post a picture of the picture. I mean, of the pregnant woman.
We're going to show a picture of the pregnant woman that
Yeah.
got thrown to the ground by an NYPD officer.
So you guys can judge and comment and see if if this action was justified. Would you, if you see a pregnant woman who is showing this much, and you think it would be okay to throw her to the ground?
Oh, my God. And let us know, and then hashtag NYPD.
Exactly. Let them know.
We're gonna go to a quick music break, and then when we come back, we have more on the NYPD.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook and tweet us. welcome back to WJJCRH. Don't forget to tweet us at Radio568JJ and like us on Facebook at Radio568/WJJCRH.
So, just a recap of today's show. We spoke about quality of life offenses and how we should focus more on real crimes instead of low-level crimes. We also spoke about positive experiences with the NYPD and negative experiences, stop and frisk. And we spoke about peacemakers and how the NYPD should do more community policing and serve and protect instead of serve and arrest. And I just wanted to give a shout out. This happened a while ago, but a shout out to Larry DePrimo from the NYPD
Yeah.
for becoming famous on the internet without knowing. A tourist took a picture of him while he was giving a pair of boots to a homeless man in Times Square.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of policing that we need in the NYPD more often. The kind that helps you and helps you feel safe and helps you feel at home for being in New York. Because even though a lot of people say we're not very friendly, we do care about each other.
We all do. I mean, most of the memes you see with his picture on it, you see faith and humanity restored, and that's basically what he did.
Yeah, and it gives him an opportunity. It gives him an opportunity to be proud.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, he was 26 years old. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge win for the NYPD.
He got promoted to detective.
I know. Good for him.
Very good.
Huge win for the NYPD.
That should be rewarded.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Not the cop who gives the most tickets. That's not how a promotion should be.
I wonder what Larry would do in the case of Eric Garner.
I mean, personally, I think he wouldn't have done what the other cop did, but.
Or do you think that Daniel would have gotten this guy a pair of shoes?
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
No, man, he killed somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of looks like murder to me. But anyways, so next week, tune in. We have an interesting show in store for you. We're going to talk about something that affects most us New Yorkers, and I would say the 99%, and that is the MTA.
MTA. Hashtag MTA.
Hashtag MTA.
That F train, though.
Oh
That
my
E
God.
train.
The D train. Don't
Oh my
get me
God.
started. Every train,
Every
especially the 4
train.
train. We're going to get into the really ghetto trains and the not-so-ghetto trains. We're going to get into...
Oh, and the Wi-Fi.
Oh, the
The
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
I don't know. Is the Wi-Fi a good thing or a bad thing? I don't. You had an excuse before.
Probably like
There's
for
no excuse.
emergencies.
There is no excuse now.
I mean, it's not on every station.
no.
So.
Well, not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet. But more rolling out.
Yeah.
But I would rather have a perfectly running train without the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say take all the resources that you put into Wi-Fi and put it into
Fixing the tracks.
Yeah, fixing the tracks, reliable trains. So like I'm not late to work or
Or
I'm
to
not
class.
late to school. I mean, it would suck because then we wouldn't have an excuse if we woke up late, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's a new station that just opened. It's the Fulton Center, $1.4 billion project that took 10 years to complete, and 10 years.
So can we say that again?
1.4
billion.
Billion, as in more than a million. $1 billion.
Definitely.
And I feel like you have such a beautiful station, yet the trains are still going to be slow in that station. All I just want trains that work, on Saturday night at 2 a.m. when I'm coming home from the club.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's when it's most needed.
Exactly. You just want to get home. You're tired.
But be careful. Do not take the train when you're intoxicated. Take a cab. Have a friend drive you home. Drive safe.
Don't
Shout
drink
out
and
to-
drive. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
Shout
and-
out to all the drunkies.
and drive slow.
Train.
Project Zero.
Use Uber, Lyft, whatever.
So yeah, that's in store for you guys for next week's show.
Yes.
Thank
Tune
you.
in.
Tune in. Oh, and we want to give a shout out to the veterans.
Happy
Yes,
Veterans
happy
Day.
Veterans Day.
Thank you for making me feel a safe home in our country. We have the best country in the world with the biggest military. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We can get into a whole thing about the
Yeah.
military, the
Maybe that'll
military
be a future
industry
topic.
complex, and that's maybe the week after next we can talk about the military.
Maybe.
But,
let us know on social media.
But thanks to all the veterans and shout out to you guys. You guys do an amazing service. Once again, my name is Xavier,
My name is Rosemary.
And I'm Sophia
and make sure you follow us on Twitter.
at RADio568JJ and like us on Facebook at
Radio568
like.
/ WJJCRH.
All right.
Bye guys.